Alright boys, hello and welcome to MTA episode 27, and this is the second take actually, because I had to redo the whole thing because my mic was cutting out. I hope it's not in 26. If it is, I apologize, but I can't redo that one. I got like half an hour left until I really have to go, and but I didn't want to deliver you such bad quality. I don't know, something with the noise gate fucked up. It just was cutting out. Whatever. So 27 for the 30th of October 2018. I'm currently sitting at a wedding while you're watching this. So I pre-recorded this, of course, and I'm gonna do this a bit more often, I think, because then I can get more episodes out quicker. And that is always something good. So let's start episode 27 out with some of the cool pictures that I found on Reddit these days and from this week. And I thought this one was pretty epic. If you ask me, this one is a it's submitted by UA Marshall, and I think this is actually the current mood of the WoW Classic community at this moment, and not only from them. I mean, on my stream, I've had plenty of people that were coming in, and they were not so very much happy about BFA, and everyone's looking forward to the Classic experience again. Okay, so that's what we can look forward to, and I think this summed it up pretty well. Then I got this one, speaking of wedding, and it came in from Dempolidinos, not Dempolinos, Dempolinos, yes. Have a great week, y'all, he says, and it's this one. I found that pretty fitting for a wedding. Okay, so this is like someone at the wedding. These are like parents, right? This is some other couple that actually got his life together, and then here's us. See this guy? We're happy about it, right? We're like, finally I can rank again and attach my poop sock and get to rank 14 again and only eat, scrambled eggs and baked beans and play 16 hours a day and rank against other people without a life. Awesome. I like it. So those were those. And then I found an actually, whoa. Oh, this one. No. It's gloves. Okay, I'm gonna put it out there. It's kind of a gimmicky thing, but I wanted to throw it in here because it's quick, and we need some cool things here to show you guys. We got some two major or bigger topics later, but this is one, a true vanilla item, as you can see. This was one that that I found somewhere. Somebody was talking about it and linking it. Also on Reddit. I'm sorry if I didn't catch the name there. Yeah, this is a very vanilla item, and it's pretty broken for hunters too. So, Fletcher's gloves, yeah, improves your chance to get a critical strike with missile weapons by 1%, and it actually decreases your chance to parry an attack by 1%. And now this is the O vanilla for right now. Okay, this is the O vanilla because as you can see, this is basically the I mean, this is a perfect example of a vanilla item, right? It's easy to make. Actually, that's not a good example. That is easy to make. You can actually use your long tail feathers that always clump up your inventory when you're killing some sort of freaking bird. You can gather all your long tail feathers and keep them for all the hunters in your guild and send them all to one leather worker. You go do that. You will be very happy. So you get 1% crit with missile weapons, and people say in the comments here, in the comment sections, that this is clearly a hunter item. This is the first comment that we can see, so this is rate me low once again, but I do not care. And he doesn't care, he's a true hunter. His name is Bojo. Probably one of those guys that named himself Bojob or something. Then people say it's gonna get nerfed, but it's pretty broken for level 20, that is true. 1% crit on the level 20 item is pretty strong. Missile weapons though, what about arcane missiles? It's leather, you can't wear it anyway, but so it doesn't matter. But the vanilla part of this is decreases your chance to parry an attack by 1%, because probably those gloves are so heavy, that's the role-playing aspect of it. I like this kind of stuff, this is vanilla. you get him. You have a lot of crit, but you're a little bit worse at parrying now. So I like this item very much. Let's move on though. So this is actually very, very broken. So because many people are probably going to roll Hunter anyway, this is an item you could get if you're Marksman Hunter, not if you're Beastmaster. Well, you could be Beastmaster, but if you're living the melee Hunter dream, you cannot wear this item because you need to parry to proc Mongoose Bite, or called Raptor Strike. No, Raptor Strike. No, Mongoose Bite. Whatever. Let's move on. Here we got Vanilla Daily Quests, and again, I'm re-recording this, so I know it now. Vanilla Daily Quests, and it comes in from Taurus, 3 hours ago, submitted. And he says, we all know that there weren't many daily quests in Vanilla, except some fishing and cooking and event dailies, but what sort of other daily routines were there? Like in retail, you check missions and stuff first thing in the morning, but in Vanilla, what do we do? Maybe check auctions, for example. Maybe someone did one fast dungeon or battleground before school/work. I'm curious and I don't remember much about this. All right, we shall help you, Taurus, right? Because we have been there. The comment section is pretty cool. Me personally, I, for example, always go herbing and where I get some ores, whatever the case, and I try to get the sweet Lotus, the sweet black Lotus. And then after that, I don't even know what I'm doing. Do some auction house trading. I am doing some checking my mail and stuff, and then it is whatever I'm on at that moment, right? If I'm ranking, I'm obviously starting out the day with some battlegrounds. But yeah, it's really, really up to you. And people here in the comments are saying, there wasn't really a routine. Everyone had their own thing, maybe, or if anything, but there weren't really that many routines going on, and you would do whatever the hell you'd like. A lot of people go herbing and go farm something, and some people have their thing that they want to, they want to grind Ironfall. So this poor guy down here, right? He said, it's Chrism. And he said, my daily routine during retail Vanilla, back in the day probably, start playing after work at 3, put together an amp run while I ate lunch. After that run, I'd farm consumables and repair money. Vanilla, right? You have to, now it's time to farm some repair money for that night's raid until 6, then get dinner and then raid at 7. Below that, from 1 p.m. come back from school, queue up for AV. 1 to 3 p.m. mining, chilling. 3 p.m. AV queue pop. Okay. So he goes into queue, right? Because it's normal that the AV queue is not going to pop until next 2 hours. So queue for AV, and then he was. That's a good idea. Let's now we're laughing, but let's wait until classic servers how it's actually going to be. Maybe you have to go into queue, and then you have 2 hours of your time free to farm some herbs and ores, right? Because the queue is not going to pop. And then at 3 p.m. the AV queue pops, and 3 to 6 p.m. 3 hours of AV normal, right? And then 6 to 11 p.m. raid. And from 11 to 1 a.m. join AV again. And then at 1 a.m. sleep. Okay. Repeat for 1 to 2 to 3 years. Good times. But it's really up to you. It's really up to you. Prepare for raids, farm your gold, herbs, ores. But I wanted to point one thing out. There are actually some dailies. As he's also saying, fishing and cooking dailies that are and event dailies that are in the game. Sorry. And I believe there's some in Raventusk Village for Horde. There's a guy that I was thinking about this earlier. Either it's this thing where you get the Sky Lord thing, the feather or something. Or the owl beast hunting, something. There's something in Raventusk Village in Hinterlands. And in Desolence you can get, there's a daily quest. And there's a couple of more. I don't know for Alliance side. If you know of any daily quests for Alliance side, or what exactly the fishing and cooking dailies are, put it in the comments, and I'll check it out, and we'll talk about it next time. 'Cause that's really interesting. You know, I said before, for the opening of, or if they do it, but I'm all for the opening of Mount Hyjal, you know this, okay? And after Nax, there should be like the zone should be opened and filled with life. Because it's awesome. It's an awesome zone. And there could be a lot of things filled in that zone. And also daily quests, for example. Like cool daily quests that feel vanilla, right? That really feel vanilla. Don't award too much, but it's a good way for people that aren't really good at farming gold or doing what gold farming is all about. One thing though, don't make it as in BC or even after that, where all I would do is do dailies. I didn't very much care about farming back in those days, although it was raiding really hardcore. But that was my thing. Like I went and did dailies. So I'd be logging in and say, oh shit, man, 15 dailies or whatever it was back then, and then you do dailies, and it just will feel like an obligation, and it's bad. This is exactly what happened in Legion 2 for me. You would log in, and you open the map, and the whole shit is filled with world quests. And world quests were a good idea. It was just way too many, with way too many small shitty ones. And I don't know, like, saving rabbits or some shit, or you know what I mean. And, make it very limited, like 5, make 4, 5, I don't know, and make them cool, right? And don't just spam it, and make it so that it's an obligation that you have to do every day. So that was the cool thing about Vanilla, and not like in Legion where you log in and then you kind of have to do one thing, right? And then, you don't have to, but technically you do, right? Let's face it, you have to do it if you want to keep the AP grind up. So it would be a cool alternative, it's something to do with your alts, or for healers. Daily quests were always good for healers because you could do it easily, and maybe you weren't like the farming guy, the farmer. And I like the idea. We could do that. I'm not sure. But make it so that it doesn't feel like an obligation. Don't put in too many. Don't make it BC style, a whole quest zone. But whatever. And then one last thing. It's a call to action from Opicano. And he would like to get your support on the classic demo. He says, a friendly request to those of us participating in the demo next week. The coming of the classic demo next week marks a momentous occasion not only to us as players, but also to the characters lost over the years. In this regard, I can think of no better place to celebrate than Camp Darrrowshire. For me, and I'm sure many others, this camp acted as a home and a quasi-base, should really sound like, of operations for a myriad of things. Myriad? Guys tell me, I'm sorry, I don't know. And I fondly remember as an oasis for hunting, trapping, skinning, and even slaughtering pigmen, not just the men, but the women and children too. Of course, who doesn't know this quest? Being that my first character was a Tauren hunter, I practically lived there during Vanilla and have missed it ever since. I quit before Wrath launched. After I returned during Legion, I was devastated to learn of what cruel fate befell them. Suffice it to say, the demo will mark the official return of this village and its inhabitants, and I feel strongly that we should give them a generous welcome back party. It seems only right considering what they have been through. Stop by at some point between the 2nd and 7th of November and celebrate in any way I definitely will. Cheers from Opicano. And he's basically inviting you to a fat party at Camp Darrrowshire with a lot of booze, so bring your dwarven stouts, right? And there will be sluts, right? Sweet troll sluts for the taking. So bring the booze, bring your friends. There will be a bonfire going on. So I don't know which server, but just check on the demo. Just check by Camp Darrrowshire, and maybe you'll find a Goldshire-like party going on there. And people say they'll even come over as humans, and they really like the idea. So that was the shout out made. I found this to be very funny. Thing is, how do you get out of Westfall, right? Check this one. He's right, the real counter me. You know, how do you get out of Westfall? You probably can't. But for other Horde guys, you know, Horde guys, you can just go over there and enjoy. So this has been MTA 27. It's been like a quicker one, but I need to edit this and upload this in 20 minutes. And then I need to be going to the wedding, and I cannot miss this train, or my girlfriend's gonna, you know, like the pigman, you know, get slaughtered. And thanks very much for checking by the Twitch chat, by the Twitch channel, by the way. It's very much appreciated. Streaming is a lot of fun. Come say hello whenever you get the chance. If you like the video, subscribe, blah, 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 you know the drill. And I thank you very much for watching. That is true though. You know, and if you liked it, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. And I will be back on Wednesday with the stream. And I can't wait for the freaking demo. I can tell you this much. I'm gonna stream. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.